Hey guys, Harry here and welcome to another Summer Transfer Targets video. Today we're looking at Chelsea, who obviously play in the Premier League under manager Jose Mourinho and have recently just won the league after a very good campaign where they played very well. Jose Mourinho, obviously 52, and will be looking to strengthen the squad in the summer with possibly some of these players. Starting with Paul Pogba of Juventus, obviously a very good player. Plays as a central midfielder, used to play for Manchester United. Has scored 8 goals in the Serie A this season, most of which have been long shots. He's very tall, adds a lot of power in the centre of midfield. Very good power of the ball, passer of the ball. Could do short passes and long passes. But most of all, he's there for his creativity, whether that be long shots or just free balls. He's a very good player, still very young at 22 years old, and will definitely develop into a better player the older he gets. Has been linked with other clubs as well, including the likes of Arsenal and Manchester United, but Chelsea could easily get him, although their midfield is already very strong. He probably won't move in this summer to be honest, but maybe next summer we'll have to see. Moving on to an attacking midfielder who plays for Everton, it is of course Ross Barkley. Now he's scored 2 goals and provided 3 assists this season in the BPL after playing 1,916 minutes. There's no doubt about his quality. He's a very good dribbler of the ball, a lot of power when running with the ball, although people have questioned his end product at times. 2 goals and 3 assists really isn't good enough for attacking midfielder. In future seasons you would hope he'd be able to improve on this. That's just the part of the game he needs to improve on the most, but as I said, he's still very young at 21 years old, and as he gets older he will improve on this aspect of his game. Moving on to Hummels of Borussia Dortmund, who is a central defender. He's recently said that he will stay, he's rumoured to have said he will stay at the club for another season at Borussia Dortmund. But after that season will probably leave to a new club. Now this could be Manchester United, Arsenal, possibly even Manchester City or Chelsea. Obviously a very experienced defender. He's a World Cup winner, very good positionally, and if John Terry's had an amazing season, but maybe he's got one more season left in him, maybe not, but if he was to have one more season, this guy would be a perfect replacement. Moving on to another central midfielder who is Moussa Sissoko of Newcastle. Very strong, powerful midfielder in the centre of the park. Often dribbles past a lot of players with his power when on the ball. Has got 3 goals and 3 assists, which isn't bad for a central midfielder. 26 years old, so arguably getting into the peak of his career. And you know, he's a very solid player. Newcastle could still get relegated at this point of the season, although it's unlikely, as Hull have to beat Manchester United and Newcastle lose. But Newcastle have been horrific this season. 8 losses in a row I believe they had under manager John Carver, so he might want to get out and Chelsea might want to purchase him, we'll have to see. Moving on to a central defender, which is Rafael Varane of Real Madrid. Very young player still, but very quick player. Hasn't scored a goal in the Champions League or La Liga this season, but that's not really what he's for. Did get 2 in the Copa del Rey when they were still in it. And as I said, his main strength is his very quick speed. You know, often he might be caught out of position, but because of his speed he can get back into position and make the vital tackle. He still had a bit of struggle with game time, with Pepe and Sergio Ramos still producing very well, but in all honesty it's likely he'll be there for a few more years, if not a lot more years, and will be the future central defender for Real Madrid. Moving on to Marco Icardi of Inter Milan. Plays as a striker, born in Argentina and is 22 years old. Very clinical striker, scored 21 goals in 44 appearances for the club this season in all competitions. That's basically a goal every 2 matches. He's got a bit of pace about him, but more than often his main strength is his ability to finish. When he's presented with an opportunity, he will more than likely finish it off. It's been rumoured Juventus might try to sign him, but Chelsea might as well, especially if Didier Drogba doesn't renew his contract. Would be a good signing for them. Remy might also leave, so they might need to invest in some more strikers. Moving on to the 7th player, who is Raheem Sterling of Liverpool. Plays an attacking midfielder, or a striker actually, and was born in Jamaica, although he plays for the England national team. 20 years old, so still a very, very young player. Now, his agent has publicly been saying he will not sign a new contract, even for $900,000 a week, which is pretty unbelievable. He obviously wants to get out of the club, and it's been rumoured either maybe Chelsea or Manchester United might be the club he goes to, or even Arsenal. Chelsea might replace him with the likes of Oscar. Oscar has been on the fringe of things this season. And Raheem Sterling will obviously get better the older he gets, so it would be a good transfer for Chelsea. Obviously adds to the English quota of the team as well. Chelsea don't really have too many English players apart from Gary Cahill and John Terry. They're the only ones that I can think of. So would be a good player for them. He's got 7 goals and 10 assists, so does produce end quality when needed, but still needs to improve on this aspect of his game. Moving on to a left back who's played brilliantly for West Ham this season. That is, of course, Aaron Cresswell, English international, 25 years old, so arguably getting into the peak of his career. I thought he was younger, to be honest. But has been largely responsible for the club's 9 clean sheets. Has got 4 assists as well, 2 goals. Often likes to bomb down the left channel and cross it in. Try to provide the assists, overlap his teammates. Very good attacking player, but also when needed to is not afraid to make tackles, and therefore would be a good transfer for Chelsea. Azpilicueta has been brilliant for them this season, but he's more a right-sided. He's more of a right back, to be honest. So Aaron Cresswell would at least be a very good replacement if Azpilicueta was to get injured, and obviously again adds to the English quota. Moving on to another central defender who is John Stones of Everton. He's had a very, very good season with Everton this season. Missed a lot of the season due to injury, but when he came back has done very, very well alongside Jagielka in particular. 21 years old, so still very young, and he's on the edge of getting into the England team. Definitely one for the future. Very, very fast player, very good positionally. A lot of pundits tipped him to be England's #1 centre back in future years, but we'll have to see. Anyway, it would be a great investment for Chelsea at this time. Obviously, as I said, John Terry will probably retire in the next few seasons, so this would be a good investment for future. I know they've got Kurt Zouma and Gary Cahill, but you always want that 3rd or 4th centre back just in case one of them gets injured. Moving on to Antoine Griezmann of Atletico Madrid. He's been heavily linked with Chelsea in recent weeks and months. Very fast, pacey player on the wing, often uses a lot of skills, and has been very clinical in this season, actually scoring 25 goals in 53 appearances in all competitions. Now, for a winger, that is absolutely exceptional, and he could replace the likes of Oscar, or play a very good replacement for the likes of Eden Hazard if he was to get injured, although he probably doesn't want to be sat on the subs bench. It is definitely a possible signing, considering Joan Cuadrado could be leaving after one very, very poor season, in all honesty. And he's a very good player, also very experienced despite his age of 24. He's played in a lot of competitions and is a regular starter in the French national team. Moving on to the penultimate player, which is Rob Green of QPR. Now, QPR obviously getting relegated from the BPL, unfortunately. They've had a really, really bad season. Chris Ramsey's just signed a new 3-year contract, but Rob Green might want to stay in the BPL. He's been probably one of the better players this season, and as Petr Cech looks like he might be leaving to either Arsenal or Manchester United, maybe a different club in another country such as Italy or even Germany. They do need another backup keeper, and Rob Green would be perfect for this. He's got a lot of experience, so would help people out in the dressing room, and also, he's a good keeper, very good positionally, and very good reaction speed despite his age. So would be a good player for Chelsea to buy. And the final player is Walcott of Arsenal. Has struggled a lot for game time this season, mainly due to an injury. Only played 380 minutes for Arsenal this season, providing 2 goals and 1 assist. When he did come back from injury though, he didn't really get into the squad. Wasn't a regular starter, so maybe he will want to look for another club in the summer. Whether he would get this regular game time at Chelsea, I'm not too sure, but I rate him very, very highly as a player. Still 26 years old, so arguably getting to the peak of his career. Very clinical. He can play as a striker as well, and when he has played that, he has been very clinical. But his main strength, as everyone would say, is his pace. His ability to run past defenders on the wing or just centrally is second to none. So that's the video, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed. Tell me who you think Chelsea will buy in the summer and who they could sell. Tell me who you want to see next in the Transfer Targets series. Subscribe if you want to see more. Like if you enjoyed, and goodbye.